first time that I ever saw a hummingbird, I'm still a teenager. This was 1986. I came to Latin America on my own from Ireland. A very dull Angela's Ashes type of existence in Ireland that I had. I came over here for the first time and I saw this bird in a garden. And it was a very, very windy day. There was a big flower, a big yellow flower on the end of a stalk, blowing about in the wind, and a hummingbird on the end, following it back and forth the whole time. That was probably when I first realised that this is where I wanted to live. When we were young, we would talk about, imagine a summer that lasted forever. And that's what I have in the tropics. I'm living in a summer that will last forever. And there's hummingbirds are accompanying me on this journey. Hummingbirds generally present a lot of problems, especially for beginners, for identification. And that's because they have a large variety of plumages. So that, coupled with the fact that there's a lot of them, they're very, very similar. There are only so many different designs morphologically that you can fit into a bird with such a specialized lifestyle. Hummingbirds first attracted me because we didn't have an illustrated guide of hummingbirds of the world. There was no book in illustrations of hummingbirds of the world as there are with other families, and because it's one of the most attractive families for people. So I started to do it. At the beginning, I wasn't terribly interested in hummingbirds as a group. I found them a little bit difficult to paint. But like a lot of things, you find sustenance once you get deeper and deeper into your area of specialization. So once I started painting these hummingbirds, what I found was that there are certain techniques that I need to use to capture the colours, because they're iridescent colours. And the other thing I discovered was that in plumages, they're extremely complex animals. It's the opposite, if you like, of a sea slug or an octopus, which are really very simple animals, but quite big. And a hummingbird is a very complex animal with the same complexity in plumage as a gull or a goose, yet in a tiny little package. We're used to small birds having simple plumage. Here we have a bird with very small and has very complex plumage. So I found them very, very interesting once I actually got started. But colour in the hummingbirds especially has been a really great challenge, and that's what artists do. We challenge ourselves. When I started doing the hummingbirds, I knew it was going to be a challenge to capture the colour. Colour is what we associate with hummingbirds. It's this very, very strong iridescent colour. And of course it isn't real colour, it's actually reflected light. If we look at these, we can see that as they actually appear in the field, they look black from a side angle, but I've painted them to show the colour as it would appear head on. People from Europe, from Africa, from Asia who come here for the first time, they've never seen a bird like this. They've never seen a bird that can fly like that. And I would say that one of the reasons is their colour. The second reason is their speed, and also there's the dance element. Not only are they very colourful and they have a very interesting lifestyle, but hummingbirds are probably the closest that we get to a tropical dancer in the bird world. The way they move is a very important element of what they are.